Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here. So today I'm going to be doing a really budget chain burn deck with trap tricks. Again, I mentioned it a few times. It's got a couple reprints. It's super cheap now. And in a deck like this, that is pretty much all normal traps. It really helps the deck out, makes the deck really fun. People don't like playing against this deck, but I feel like it is still a fun deck to play every now and then. Not really competitive, but it's just cool. It does some kind of funny stuff, just burning your opponent for 8,000. But yeah, I have a bunch of deck profiles coming up. I did order all of my cards for my budget Mermail deck, so that will be coming up hopefully in the next week or two. I have a pure Kaiju deck coming up. A few of you guys wanted to see that. And I also have updates to Herald of Perfection, update to Machina, and just a lot of cool stuff coming up. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of it. And we'll get right into this one. We won't start with Chain Strike. We'll start with the monsters. One that's really nice to play in a chain burn deck. Because the monsters really don't matter. You want your traps. So a card like Lilith, you get it on the board, you just tribute it, and then you'll reveal 3 normal traps, and your opponent chooses one for you to set to your field. So pretty much you're playing 3 of all the traps you want to see. So you're going to be able to get usually one that you really want or could really use. So Lilith, I think, is just really nice normal summon for this deck. Another decent one. Really the only other one I like to play. You could also play like Cardi, but in this version I actually wanted all of my monsters that I do play, which I don't play very many. I wanted them all to be dark, and that's for Allure of Darkness, basically, for really good draw power. But Absolute King, Backjack, has a couple really decent effects. You can banish this card from your graveyard. So a lot of times you'll find that you'll just set this. If it's in your graveyard, you can banish it. And then excavate the top card of your deck. If it's a normal trap, you can set it, which is going to be most of the time. Otherwise, you'll send it to the graveyard. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can look at 3 cards from the top of your deck and place them on the top of the deck in any order. So it's your way of organizing your deck, or just, hopefully setting a trap card directly from your deck. So it's a nice card, like I said, to just kind of just set on the board, hope it leaves the field. Pretty cool. And the only other monster we play is just a little bit of a protection, just in case you can't, kill your opponent in a couple turns. You want something so that you're not then dying. So Battle Fader, again, we wanted a dark target for Allure of Darkness. So when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand and end the battle phase. So that's, again, nice just so you can just end that battle phase so you don't get any damage. And that is it for the monsters. Just 9 monsters and 9 darks. That's what I was going for with this. It's worked out very well. And then 1 Chain Strike. It's by far the best burn card that's not a trap. You can activate this as Chainlink 2 or higher, and you inflict 400 damage to your opponent times the Chainlink number of this card. So preferably, you want it like Chainlink 4 or 5. You'll get some pretty good damage off of him. And then for our draw power, Pot of Duality, that just seemed pretty self-explanatory because we're not special summoning on our turn, really. We don't even have an extra deck. You don't need an extra deck for this. 3 Pot of Desires. Again, we're playing 3 of literally everything. Basically, the only card that'll hurt you that you banish is Chain Strike, but I mean, you have other stuff. And that draw 2 is just really nice. And then 3 Allure of Darkness. Again, we have 9 targets for it, and you don't care about banishing any of these, to be completely honest. You'd rather, hopefully banish one of these and draw 2 traps. That would be preferred. So just draw power. And then the last card is going to be Scapegoat. The last spell card is Scapegoat. Again, just kind of more protection. And then with some of your cards, you'll inflict damage for all the cards on the field. So this is just, more burn damage, basically. So that is it for the spells. And then, yeah, bulk of the deck is definitely traps. Definitely play Trap Trick. it seems like it was almost made for a deck like this. Obviously, it was made for trap tricks, but you just banish a normal trap from your deck and set one card with the same name. So basically, you're going to be searching all of your really good burn traps, which one of the best ones, one of my favorite ones, is Just Desserts. You simply just inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each monster they control. Really nice. 3 Secret Barrel. You're going to inflict damage to your opponent equal to the total number of cards in your opponent's side of the field and in your opponent's hand. Again, really nice burn damage, potentially. 3 Secret Blast. This one you're going to inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each card they control. And then actually, if this card is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can inflict 1,000 damage. So either way, that one's going to be nice. And the good thing about all of these traps is they're all chainable, pretty much. So even if your opponent's like siding in, Twin Twisters and whatnot, you're going to be able to chain these and get something usually. And then we also are playing Ojama Trio. This is actually really nice, obviously, with Just Desserts. I mean, really any of them. Because you're going to special summon 3 Ojama tokens to your opponent's field. So it blocks some stuff. Sometimes it's not good if you don't have a way of, inflicting a lot of damage to them. Then they're going to just be using those tokens to link up into stuff and whatever. But most of the time, it's just going to be more or less giving them tokens that they don't want, blocking up zones for them, and then you're going to be able to inflict damage to them because they have monsters on their field. So I like it. And then another kind of stall card, Waboku. This is another one. You just take no battle damage from your opponent's monsters this turn, and your opponents cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. So again, just a nice stall card. And then Balance of Judgment, just 2 of it. If your opponent controls more cards than the combined number of cards in your hand and that you control, you can draw cards equal to the surplus. So it could potentially, if you're getting low on cards, it's nice to activate this and you can draw a couple cards. It should help you get back into the game. And the final 2 cards, 2 Blazing Mirror Force. Neither of these are like pertinent to the strategy, but this one is nice as just like a surprise card. I usually don't like searching it off a trap trick, just again for the surprise effect there. But when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you'll destroy as many attack positions as they control, and then you take damage equal to half their combined attack, and then they take damage equal to the combined half. So that, along with obviously some of these other ones, you're going to be doing, hopefully quite a bit of damage. So that is a deck, guys. A really quick one. Again, I have some really cool decks coming up. I actually even have an updated Triamid deck that I'm working on. That'll be really fun. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed, and we'll catch you on the next one.